How's it going, guys? I'm Vivi and welcome back to some Crash Bandicoot and Sane Trilogy. Yes, again we got some brand new footage. Now, what did I say in my previous videos? Didn't I mention that we would get new footage every 2 weeks? See what I mean? This time we got the rocket level, which is the second level of the 5th warp room from Crash 2. And I gotta say, guys, this level is one of the most memorable ones. I mean, come on, as a kid when I saw this level for the first time, I was so fascinated. We were so used to being on ground, having to go through a level with a jetpack. It was something. Sure, we had the level where we had to ride on Polar, but Rocket was cool, it was interesting. Now apparently there was a glitch in the classic where you would walk on ground in this level. I don't remember ever experiencing that glitch. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure they're not gonna leave it in. Now in the 5th warp room there's 2 space station levels. This one and the other one called Packet, which is the 4th level, which I doubt they will show. I think they tend to show the most memorable gameplays. I don't know if you've noticed that. The bear, the boulder, Sewer or Later was pretty memorable, and the first level of course. Well, that's just me, I find these levels memorable, but if we look at this differently, we can say Vicarious Visions is simply showing off different environments to give us a feeling of the Sane Trilogy. But we still haven't seen any Crash Warped gameplay. I'm expecting something to be shown at E3. So, as always guys, looking at this gameplay, it is beautiful. It feels like Vicarious Visions is always watching, listening, looking for feedback. In the past, there was an interview where they said that they were keeping an eye on the Crash Bandicoot Reddit page, always looking for problems they can fix. You know, feedback. For example, there was this moment when the Wampu fruit, the sound, it was a bit off, and many had noticed that. And guess what? Vicarious Visions, they fixed that. The Wampu fruit sounds exactly the same. Here's another improvement I've noticed, well, call it change, in the Rocket level. The colors are more saturated, they're more intense, they're less washed out, if we compare it to the older gameplays. Look at the classic one, guys. There's a lot of purple, red, blue hues everywhere. Looking at the new one, it feels similar. There's a lot of blue, purple, red around. Looking back at Sewer or Later, the colors felt less variant, and I think the team is trying to fix that. Well, of course, maybe the Sewer or Later level is supposed to look that way. It doesn't look awful, but looking at the Rocket level, there's a lot more colors, right? And it looks fantastic. Talking about fantastic, the lighting gives a lot more life to the space station. The layout, as usual, everything is the same. Boxes are in the same locations, the Wampu fruit, everything. As for the rings, the lights, instead of having white fluorescent, they've been replaced by yellow ones. Small slight detail I've seen, the warning on the pipe has been removed. It doesn't change anything, to be honest. And as usual, the areas, they look wider. That's a nice touch I've noticed. Now when the video starts, well, the way it starts, we can't really tell if the moon is still present in the new one. In the old one, it was on the top left corner. Talking about the moon, what about the planet? This time the planet is on the top right corner instead of bottom left. Also, we don't have that many stars in the Sane Trilogy. Now talking about how everything is placed exactly the same, I still find it crazy. I don't know why. They took an old game and it's running on a new engine and looking beautiful. What am I gonna say? Now about nitro crates. Apparently someone on Twitter noticed a very small change. In one of the older gameplays, the O, it looked like a Q. This time, it does look like an O. They fixed that. I had never noticed that until I saw the post on Twitter. Oh, and before I forget, the nitro crates are glowing. I forgot to mention this in my previous small analysis. The glowing pipes, they have an intense red, looks great, and the lab assistant. When was the last time we saw him in the Sane Trilogy? In the Sewer or Later level. And what was missing? His scream. His nostalgic, memorable scream. Who can forget that? And of course the same thing is going on, we spin and the lab assistant gets launched into the fire, which causes the door to unlock. And then we hear his scream. So for those of you who are worried about that, they put it in. Anything else? There's a purple light on Crash's jetpack. instead of a black and yellow circle. That's pretty much it. And before I forget, the soundtrack in Rocket, it's pure nostalgia. Remember how it started slow and then got faster? The whole space theme in the soundtrack, I loved it. For the modernized version, it sounds great, I like it. It truly does feel like you're still listening to the same soundtrack, but updated. Well, duh dude, it's the same soundtrack, right? But the thing is, when I heard the soundtrack for Un-bearable, that dramatic sound effect was absent. And at that moment I thought to myself, will they always remove the memorable parts of the soundtracks? But honestly guys, at the end of the day, I am not complaining. I'm not being nitpicky. We are getting Crash, the 3 classic games, completely remade. Out of everything, that's what makes me happy. And thank you Vicarious Visions. Now, other than that, this is it for the video. My predictions for the next gameplay, when is it going to get released? Maybe in a week or within a couple of days. Cause it seems like they keep showing us new stuff every 2 weeks at least. I am expecting another one very soon. But yeah, as always, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. So yep, I've been Vivi and thanks for watching.